Guys, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel for another video today. In the last couple of videos, I had talked a lot about my Hate Less, Love More brand that I started creating. So I thought that bringing up a video explaining a little bit more about this brand would give you a little bit more insight on what I'm trying to do and create. So let's get into it. The first thing that I do want to talk about is why I had created this brand to begin with. It is something that is really close to home and close to my heart, so it is a little bit of an emotional story. It has started when I lost my sister, 5th grade going into 6th grade. It was that summer of 2011. My sister had just turned 18 years old and she had graduated high school. She was in a car accident with a semi-truck. The semi-truck was going the opposite direction as her, and one of the tires fell off or popped or something. I can't remember exactly, but so it went into oncoming traffic, and unfortunately her car was the first car that it hit. So they hit head on. Of course, it was a semi-truck. I know there were about 7 other vehicles involved in this car accident. A cement truck that actually was cut in half and in the ditch. Because of this was something massive. And since then, the highway in Camas that it had happened on has put in dividers down the middle, just because this was a really serious car crash. It needed to be dealt with in some way. So that is the precautions that they had taken to ensure that this did not happen again. My whole life, I was raised to love everybody no matter what. We're all the same and we all just want to live our lives peacefully, successfully, happy, whatever it is that does make you happy. If you wanted to raise a family or be successful in a job, the color of your skin, the person you loved, none of that mattered. It didn't matter if you had different religions or different thoughts or opinions on the world. You still had to love each other no matter what, because there's no reason to hate anybody just because they have different views than you. Maybe you can take those views and opinions and educate yourself so that you can grow as a person instead of going around ruining other people's lives. I had dealt with a lot of racists and speaking out against them, and I have dealt with a lot of people who hated on the LGBTQ community. But growing up, I never really had the chance. I was always in school, or I was dealing with being sick or something like that. I never had the chance to actually speak out about it. I never had the courage to put myself out there and talk about it either, because I thought that people would judge me for it. And I just came to a point where I realized people are going to judge me no matter what. So I need to do what I have to do to feel like I'm making a difference. And my whole life, I had stared out the window and thought to myself, what is this life? Because really, we're just growing old, having a family, and then dying. And that did not sound fun to me, just doing that. I thought there was more to this life, something more magical that needed to happen. And I guess I was really just joking with myself in my mind that I can escape to an alternate reality where there's fairies or vampires and stuff like that, go into the ocean and swim away as a mermaid. But in reality, that really isn't it. I guess I started subconsciously thinking about hate less, love more. At the time, obviously, it wasn't that. I was just like, why do people hate each other? Like, I don't get it. I've never, and I always said that I've never hated anybody. There's no reason to hate anybody. If somebody asked me, oh, you just don't like her? I'm like, well, I mean, I dislike that person. I don't hate them, but I'm going to support them no matter what, because they deserve that. They don't deserve anything less than that. The last event leading up to this brand that created Hate Less, Love More and really threw me over the edge was the murder of Nikki Kuhnhausen. When I first met Nikki, it was in middle school. I think I was in 7th grade. My best friend was good friends with Nikki as well. At the time, Nikki was a he, and so he just came out as gay, and we all hung out together. He was never afraid to say what he wanted, and he was such a roaster. He would roast me on the daily, but it was hilarious, and we loved him no matter what. He was the first gay friend that I had in middle school, so we always hung out and went to Nikki's house and we did silly stuff, like any normal middle schooler would do. I started growing up with Nikki before his transformation. Then about 8th grade to maybe high school is when Nikki really started putting himself out there, and he started being a her. And she was beautiful, let me tell you. And the funny part is that she always wanted to carry around mirrors. And me and my friend Emily would constantly, if we were hanging out, we would have to take the mirrors away. And she'd be like, well, you can't stop me, and pull out another one from her boob, or, pull out a really tiny one from her purse. Or it turns out she had one in her phone case. She was so obsessed with looking beautiful. And no, I didn't judge her. I guess it came to realization that a lot of people did judge her, but she didn't give a shit. Like, she was who she was gonna be, and she was gonna be really good at it. But I guess for some people, gays and transgendered and those type of people are just not acceptable for whatever reason that might be, their religion. That's just how they were raised. After learning about this, I was furious because we may not have been best of friends. We were friends, and I got to see Nikki grow into an awesome woman, and somebody took that just because she was a transgender. But that is why I decided that I needed to come out of my comfort zone and not care if people were going to judge me, because I am way more privileged than a lot of people in the United States or even around the world, so I need to take advantage of it. Help the people who are less privileged speak out. It started out with a couple drawings. I can put a couple on the screen here or there. And creating little like poems next to them, or just spoken words, really. And then it continued into a manifest of, I want to brand this. And one night I was sleeping and I was just thinking in my head while I was trying to sleep, and I couldn't. And I was like, hate less, love more. I'm like, maybe I should use that for me. So that turned out to be the HLLM, the Hate Less, Love More. I did find a HLLM abbreviation for, I think, an airport in like Saudi Arabia or something, but that was the closest thing I found to what I was trying to do, and nothing else that I saw online was like this. So I decided to run with it. After a couple weeks of just drawing and doing little spoken words in a notebook and thinking about the product that I wanted to come out with, I had finally started getting my website together. It took me probably a week to get it fully finished. And the website is not up now due to financial reasons, but that doesn't mean I can't talk about it. It was super easy. I used Squarespace to create the website. I bought a domain and I paid the monthly fee for keeping the website up through Squarespace. One of the last things that I did do was put together my mission statement. And I had the mission statement in my mind the whole time. I just needed to find the words to put together efficiently to bring everything together as a whole. So I will read the mission statement to you. In today's age, the world is all about hate and judgment. In an effort to reinvent that image, I have created HLLM. I believe that humanity can transition into communities willing to appreciate our individual differences. Let us embrace self-expression in violence and exploitation while allowing ourselves to be vulnerable to create meaningful connections. We should gather to start conversations that spark inspiration and love. Hate less. As soon as I got at least everything together, quarantine happened, and I didn't have a job, so it really went under the bus. Well, so I really just put a pause on it. Really just a pause on what everybody else was seeing. On the inside, I was creating more information, gathering more information, thinking about what I want HLLM to become, and I purchased some items for things that I'm still working on. And I thought I'd like to advocate this for myself. So instead of branding this as something completely different from me, I want this to be branded as me. Katy Kidder, hate less, love more, create connections, not hate, instead of it being like an anonymous Instagram account that you see. So I'm working on rebranding it, and hopefully this can be a platform to help expand Hate Less, Love More. I will also be using my own Instagram account to do that as well. There's a couple other things that I would like to do that aren't necessarily attached to Hate Less Love More. A couple other businesses that I do want to create, maybe write a book or a poetry thing and figure out how I can self-publish. Hate Less Love More has been the beginning to my career as an entrepreneur in working on my own businesses and financing myself as my own boss. That is really the story of Hate Less, Love More, HLLM, and where I am right now, and a little bit of what I'm going to be doing in the future for this brand. I really want this to be inspirational for yourself. If you maybe are feeling down and you need things to look forward to, just know that we all start somewhere. You all can achieve your hopes and dreams. At that, that is the end of this video. Thank you for watching today, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys.